So what is a Stroad? Why does it cause problems? What's wrong with it? And how can you fix it? Well, we are going to use our American styled city here, Mississippi, here in the game Cities Skylines, to try and show the answers to those questions. My name is Biffa. Thank you very much for joining me. Now, many of you have commented that we do have a Stroad in our city here. If I just zoom out, we can see where that is. It runs through the middle of our city build. So first of all, what is a Stroad? Well, the definition of a Stroad, very simply, is the cross between a street and a road. Well, what's a street, you might ask? Well, let's zoom into our residential area to the left over here. These are streets. Simple streets that connect houses. We have access here to educational facilities, some shops. People can walk on them, they can drive on them. They are reasonably slow speed. That is the basic definition of a street. And off of streets, you will normally find ways that the area wants to make money. So they will have shops, places to go and visit, cafes, parks, all of that sort of thing. What is a road? Well, generally, a road is faster, it is bigger, it's got more lanes, it's got traffic lights, it's got less connections off of it, mainly speaking. We could say that this was a road down here, although it's bordering on also being a Stroad. We have a lot of connections coming off of it. But if you want to get from one end of our small city to the other on this side, you could take this road down here. This is another example of a road, although this road here is possibly bordering on a highway. But you get the idea of the difference between a small street and a larger road to get people quickly from one area to another. So when does a street and a road become a Stroad? Well, now we're back to looking at this Stroad, as we're going to call it, that runs through the middle of our city. It has the option of being a road. It's trying to be a road to take people from one destination to another. I mean, this is only the start of our small city at the moment, but we've got the way to get in and out of our city on the left over here, and then we've got where people want to go to. So they might want to go to our mass transit hub over here. So they would come in the city, go straight to the mass transit hub. They may arrive in our mass transit hub and then want to go to different parts of the city, and they would take this road to do so. You've got people that live over here, want to get to our industry on this side. They will take the road through. You've got people that live over here, might want to get to the industry over there and take the road that we've got through, or this road down here. So that's what makes this little Stroad through here the road. What makes it also become a Stroad? What makes it take on some of the properties of a street? Well, as you can see, we've got lots of commercial buildings that are bordering this road. So not only are people driving down here to get from one place to another, they're actually making this road a destination. They're coming here to shop, and we've got all these shops that border this road down here. Some of them do actually border this little street to the side here. There's also a lot of connections that come off of this road. So we had more connections, but we've lessened them as we've gone through this series. We've got a connection over here. We've now got this big connection with this secondary road down here. We've then got this connection over here. Before, we had also a connection here. I think we had another couple in the middle. So the fact that we've lessened the connections is one way to fixing this Stroad. And if we move in and take a look at this road/street, you can see we've got a lot of pedestrians walking down the middle of here because we have our trams in the middle. So it's becoming a hotspot for people that want to walk, get around, use mass transit. There's a lot of mass transit on here as well. Pedestrians are getting in the way. You can see, look, cars are pulling over to drop people off, and you can't sort of do that. Vehicles are pulling into our shops over here, which is causing backing up of traffic. Overall, the traffic's not horrendous. If we come out again, I've done a lot of work on the time traffic lights here, the double time traffic lights that we've got here. I've removed these connections that were far too close on this side, and if we move over here on this side as well, so it gives more space for cars to queue up. But it's still busy. I mean, if we have a look at this, this is the busiest road in our city so far, even though we've added other accesses in and out. We do need another access to the highway. That's what this is crying out for. We're unable to do that yet. So we will concentrate on seeing how we can fix our Stroad. So what are we going to do? What fixes can we implement to make the traffic move better down here, to make it less of a stroad and more of a road? But just before we do that, I'm going to put this image up on the screen. This comes from strongtowns.org, which has got excellent information on how to build better towns it's mainly based in America and Canada, which is, we're building an American inspired city, so this is going to be really helpful. But you can see in the middle we've got the Stroad, which is covering both the purposes of a street and a road, and we want to turn our Stroad into one or the other. Now, because this Stroad is the main access into our city at the moment, because that's the way the map was set up, that's what we're going to go with, we're going to lead towards turning it into a road. So we want to move, as it says there, goods and people quickly between two successful places. They're going to have somewhere to go. The road, or the Stroad, isn't going to be the destination anymore. We need to limit access, so seek to close existing accesses. Keep people and bikes away from cars in a separate safe place. That is something we're really going to work on. Don't try to build anything, simplify. Move vehicles quickly, period, or full stop if you're somewhere other than America. So I will put a link to that picture, that website, a couple of other articles in the description below. I really recommend it. I've also got 2 of the books here. Let me just grab those, by Charles Marone, who's the president of this non-profit organisation. A Bottom-Up Revolution, Strong Towns to Rebuild American Prosperity. Excellent book. And also his follow-up, Confessions of a Recovering Engineer, Transportation for a Strong Towns. I've been reading these and they are fantastic if you've got any interest at all in building good cities and all the things that we're talking about. So let's dive in and put some of these things into practice. Why don't we just, have a look at this Stroad and see how bad it is at the moment. I mean, we can see it's super busy. It's always going to be super busy. There's always a lot of people waiting to cross over at the light. So with these time traffic lights, I've had to add in, or might not have done it on this one, the one at the other end, I've got a section set up just for people crossing the road. We mentioned before how there's a lot of people stopping to go into the shops over here. There's also a lot of delivery vehicles, drunken drivers. What was that guy doing down there? A lot of pedestrians crossing over. So cars and vehicles are stopping instead of being able to get quickly from one place to another. Whether we can limit the accesses in and out, I don't know. We've got some road connections that we sort of really need to have here. So we might end up keeping those here and seeing if we can work with that. And we mentioned keeping bikes and keeping pedestrians away from the fast cars. Well, we're not doing that, are we, with this road here? Or this Stroad here. So let's pause the game. I'm going to save the game right here, and we're going to make some changes and see what we can do. I'm also going to have a sip of tea to get us on the way. Right, let's get going. So first of all, I want to make sure that none of these buildings and shops are up against this road here. Now, if we have a look at our zoning, we can see this bottom side of the Stroad, everything is zoned up against that road there. So we are going to, by right-clicking, remove all of this. Now, it's all just low-density commercial. We do have a need for low-density commercial, so we're going to have to build some more somewhere else. But for now, that is all going to go. And if we unpause, that should just all disappear. There it goes, before our very eyes. And some things are slow to go, so we're going to help them along. There we go. And this is all just commercial buildings. There we go, excellent. And this car here, he's shocked to discover the place he was going to visit has gone. Now, the other side of the road, the top side of the road, again, it's all low-density commercial. Some of these buildings are going to be facing the road here, and some are going to be facing the road up there. What we're going to do is I would like to keep this commercial here, but I would like it to face this side of the road only. So we're going to use the tool Zoning Adjuster. And I love this tool, but it drives me insane because I can never get it to work the way I want it. So what I want to do is remove zoning from this. And I'm hoping we can just do Disable Zoning. Do I need to right click? I do. And as we go along here, any shops that were actually built facing this way are going to disappear. So let's just go all the way down to the end, and we're going to go all the way along here as well. And this one and this one. Yep, that's gone. That should still be okay there. If it's not, we'll move that elsewhere. So we'll probably just let the game run. There we go. Look, we can see some that are disappearing. So again, let the game run and see how many of these shops along here are going to disappear. And we might actually find some of them will grow back in again, but actually facing the other way, like this one is doing here, which I think is okay. We've still got access. Yeah, it looks like there's access at the back, but we can actually check that with the spawn points mod. If we click on here, we can see the buildings only having access in and out here. So even though there's cars looking at their parts at the back, they're only on this side. So that is good. So I'll let that run for a bit and we'll see what happens over there. Okay, it looks like we're okay. We've got a couple of other buildings building in down here. I think you're probably going against this road here. I'm going to actually not let you do that right there. Right by a junction. And right here, right by the junction. In fact, even that one, you were going to go as well. Excellent. So we've got a couple here we can just remove. And that's looking good. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is just double check by using the spawn points mod, and we can just click on these. So left click to select, right click to deselect. There we go. And yet they're all facing the other way. Let me just check all of these. So one way of setting it up like this is it gives that sort of genuine American Stroad look. I don't like these teeny tiny buildings though. Let's get rid of those so you can get a larger one. This genuine American sort of Stroad look without it messing up this road the way it has been. There we go. That one's fine. Oh, and that one's fine as well. Excellent. So as we said, any more that come in are going to face the other way. So yeah, it's got that look of these buildings being up against this road, even though technically they're not. Excellent. Right, okay, so what is next on our list? So reducing connections was another one. Well, I'm sort of only looking at this part of this Stroad here. We've got one connection, 2 connections, 3 connections, and then this is where it turns into sort of a different road. So here there's only 3 connections. I think we're going to leave those as they are for now. I think that should be okay. But what we want to do now is to try and keep people and bikes away from cars in a separate safe place. So this is going to be a difficult one because there are walking paths down here. We can see people are walking and crossing the road. We don't have any bike lanes along here. So instead of upgrading this road and changing it to a bike lane, what I'm actually going to do, if we dive into our path menu, which is this one here, there we go. We do have a bicycle path. Now, there's other ones that I've used from the workshop before that mix bicycle and walking together. Only bikes are allowed on these paths, which is good. We do have paths alongside the road, so we're going to leave those together. We're going to leave those like that. The ones I've used before that mix them together has only actually caused problems. So in the game, they were a weird asset. So we're going to go with this. So we're going to pop down the side here. There we go. We've now got bike access all the way along there. We could probably try and get that into here as well. There's probably a better way of doing this so I can get this darn thing to line up in the middle. But yeah, I tell you what, I know exactly what there is to do. I'm going to draw that in there, and then I'm going to use this tool here, that tool there, and say please go from there to there. Can you go the other end and the other end? Yay! Oh, darn it. I got it, and then I clicked the wrong button. There we go. That is nice and flat. And then what I might just do is add a connection through here. And I'm going to come back at some point and get all these things sort of connected up a bit better in different places. But as we're concentrating on this road, that'll be good for now. Now, we've got options here. We've got these main roads here, where we do have pedestrians, people, and now bikes crossing over here. What do? Do we make this easier for people to cross this road? I think that would be a good idea. See, look, we've got the bikes queuing up here. So I am just going to delete a section from either side. We're going to take this one underground. Okay, so after a little bit of playing around, now we've got this. So we've got the pedestrian access up and over the top. We've got this hooked into it as well. So if you remember, we've got our park that runs along the back here with this walking path all the way down here in both directions. So we've got that hooked into here as well. They can walk over the top. We can see people already using it, which is great. And we have the ability for our bikes that we're going to start introducing into our city to go under here as well. So now what we can do with the tools that we have available to us in the game, which is Traffic Manager, we will look at this junction here. And I want to stop crossing right here. So you can see that once we do that, this crossing little section is taken off. And the lights will also hopefully adjust. We'll check those in a moment. And we do still have crossing from one side to the other here, which we could look to also adjust. And I'm thinking how we can do that. So what I'm thinking is further along, maybe this point here and this point here, we make that a way to get across rather than complicating this even more. You know, it's a design choice, so why not? And then we can also turn off this crossing here, and we don't have a crossing there, so that's fine. So let's see if we can just put something together over here. Okay, there we go. So I've just added, I mean, it's, you know, some eagle-eyed members of my audience might be able to come up with a simpler design, but I like this one. It's making use of this space that we're freeing up either side. People can now walk over the top. They're still going to cross here because we have our trams. We will come back to that in a moment. This crossing here, I'm actually going to turn off now. So we're going to use this tool here. And actually, which tool is it I'm going to use? No, I'm going to use node controller because that is set as a crossing. We set that to a middle. There we go. So unfortunately, people are still going to cross from the middle outwards. So that's just the way these tram roads work. But we're probably going to change those. And already we can see, look, people are cycling, they're walking, they're doing all the good stuff along here, which is exactly what we want to see. Look at that. Okay, just one thing to mention, because this has come up before. These paths are connecting across here. It's just a visual thing to do with the American big road style things that we're using, but it's fine. They connect. People are walking. Excellent. So overall, how are things looking? Well, you know, it's not changed too much. This is not as busy as it was down here. Definitely people are being kept off of the road. We can now turn off these crossings here. Which I forgot about. So let's jump into here. We're going to turn off that crossing and that crossing. Are there any other crossings? We've got this crossing here. We haven't quite connected this all the way down, have we? So what have we got going on here? This is our bike road. So let's keep that going. Where could that go to? I mean, that could literally go all the way down to the corner here. Let me just fix that. There we go, that's okay. There's a bit of weirdness there. That was seeming to connect to the road there, even though it really wasn't. Not sure what was happening there. Right, so let's have a look. We have crossings here. So what I want to do is make sure everybody comes over here to cross rather than anywhere on these lights. So we're going to grab this one. We're going to say no crossings this side, no crossings this side. This road here, I'm going to say no crossings as well, because they can walk up a little bit further away from this junction. So what have we done? So from the junction, we've removed any pedestrian crossing. We've removed that crossing there. We've removed any pedestrian crossing there. We didn't have any crossing here. This one has got a lot of pedestrian crossing, which again, we can move. People will walk a long way to cross a road in Cities Skylines. So we can remove that, remove that, remove that. They can cross up there. They can cross over here where it's not so busy, or we might adjust that in the future, and they can cross down here. So excellent. That is one big step toward turning our Stroad into a road. Now the other big elephant in the room, you might say, to do with this road, which really isn't helping, are these blighters here, the trams. The trams, they're heading down the middle of the road. Every time we get to a junction like this, I mean, particularly this one at the end here, It's super, super busy. I've had to set up a separate iteration of the lights just for the trams. Although that one's going to prove me wrong and go anyway. And as we've seen before, anybody that gets on and off of these, the stop is right in the middle here. So if we wait long enough, we're probably going to see people crossing the road anyway to get onto these trams. Although these people are possibly getting off of one tram route and going to another one. So where are these people that are getting off? They're walking down here, down the middle. Then they're walking back again. Then they're getting into this tram going to a different place. Okay, that's fine. But people will cross the road to get to the tram stops in the middle, because that is the only way they can get to them. There we go. Look, we can see them doing it there and getting in the way of the traffic. So I would like to take the tram out of this road. If we look at our tram route, it just basically goes around this big square here. You know, I tend to use the tram as an early form of transportation. I like the look of it. I like the way it works. But it is causing problems. So can we do something? Can we remove the tram from this road down here, or at least put it on the outside of the road? Well, we've got a couple of options to fixing that. We could use the tram only track. So this is not a tram on a road. It is just literally tram. And we could bring that over here, run it along here, but that would mean destroying all of these shops along the front. And I like them there. We could do that, but I don't really want to. We've got these roads here, which are right next to the houses I've got the trams on. They don't mind. I mean, it's not a terrible effect on the land value. I mean, this is the highest land value you can get with the tram running through it. It's no problem. So I am thinking of, I almost thought of connecting it here, but I'm thinking of bringing it along this road here, because I don't want this connection right here, and I think that will work quite well. So let me grab one of these here. I think this normal 2-lane, 2-way road with tram tracks, no parking, and we're going to upgrade this road through here. Let's have a look. Oh, that is a very thin and small road. What other options do we have here? Is this too wide? There we go. So trams separate. We've got an extra lane. Yeah, we're going to go for this one through here. That was a one-way road in and out. I'm going to change that one. Yeah, that was like that because I had this one set, whatever the opposite of that one was. So that's fine. And I'm going to pause the game, and then we're going to take our tram stops. So at the minute, we've got all these tram stops down here. I think some of these are going to be bus stops. So let me, if it lets me, move this. Thank you very much. Turn off all of our bus stops. And I think that is it. There we go. So these are our tram stops down here. So I'm now going to move these. So they're going to come up here instead. But they're still going to have access to the shops and all the different things that are down here. So I want to make sure that this goes on the correct side of the road. We'll do this purple one first. There we go. Then we'll go back and do this green one. There we go. So now we've removed tram access from this road down here altogether, which is fantastic. So then we can change the type of road that we've got down here. So I think a small 4-lane road will work down on this one. So we've got 2 lanes, one for left and right, which is exactly what we want. And I'll probably do exactly the same over here. So now we've got a left and right coming out of there. We do actually need, so this is where our trams come out from the tram depot. We need a connection for them. I might come back to that in a moment. Yeah. And then we're going to change this road down here to something not including a tram. So sticking with the big roads theme, we're going to go for these big roads, 4 lanes, and also these automatically don't come, I believe, with any zoning on them. No, that's right, which is good. And then we can also add in, so we've got these ones here for when we've got roads coming off, so we can add on these nice little lane thingamabobbies as well. So let us change this. I'm going to have to make sure that we turn this off. Otherwise, we're going to destroy all of our paths. There we go. Ooh, that is a big road, isn't it? That actually backs out further than I thought. And we'll get rid of those trees in a minute. Don't worry about that. Yeah, let's go for this one. It's still a big road. It's 2 lanes on each side rather than 4 lanes on each side. I think that was going to work better. So let me just do that. So it still means we can get our dedicated turning lanes when we get to the junctions, and that's what we've got going down here, isn't it? Yeah, it is. That's fine. Good, good. And I think I'm just going to carry that all the way along to the end. That'll probably mess that up, but that's fine. Excellent, excellent. Let me get rid of these trees. There we go. Trees are gone. Bus routes are thinking about their life choices. And there we go. It's all happy again. Excellent, excellent, excellent. We will need to go along here. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to look at the traffic lights again, but for now it's going to have dedicated turning lanes. And I'm going to just double check that. Yep, that's fine. Yep, that's fine. And let me get this one here. Yep, that's fine. I'm going to do that all the way along here. So same there and same here. Excellent. Then I need to just find a way to get my tram connection round to here. I think the trams will keep working without a connection to the depot, but I don't think it's a good idea. What I might just do is repurpose this little bit of path that we've got running through here. Okay, there we go. We face these two in the other direction again, leaving this without an extra connection in there, which is fantastic. And we've just reinstated our paths going through there as well. So, how is this thing looking? Well, wow, I'm just looking down there, and this is flowing so much better. We've got to just do a couple of things here because of the weird way these big American roads, they're great, but they do have some weird little idiosyncrasies, like people stopping randomly at a node when they don't need to. Hopefully they're not over here. This should all be okay. This is a straight through road, so that's no problem. It's when you sort of change between this 2 lanes each side to an asymmetrical 2 and a 3 for a junction, an intersection, whatever, like that. So that's good. Right, so these lights down here, let's take a look at our traffic lights actually all the way along here. So what have we got? We have time traffic lights, which are linked, if I remember correctly, with these up here. I think they might be. I gotta say, I don't think we're going to need these ones here anymore. So I'm going to do... Yeah, it's part of a script. I know, that's why I'm trying to click on this one. Get off the thing. So I'm going to go like this. I'm going to stop them, and then I'm just going to turn them off. So can I do that this way? Remove. No. Okay, got to do it this way. Oh, there it is. Remove time traffic lights and deselect all nodes. So that should be now. Yep, normal lights, so I can turn those off, normal lights. Now what I want to do is just do a control left click traffic light setup and let the game do it itself, because we remove so many things. I just don't want it to get confused anymore. We'll start from a nice basic setup and see how it goes. This down here, I am going to add yield signs. I've been told by lots of people you do have yield signs in America. I am so glad. Either side of that, through there. Yeah, that's good. This one here will leave... What are you doing? Oh, they're going that direction. That's fine. You continue. This one here again. Yeah, we're going to stop that one. We're going to remove it, and then we're going to control left click, add it in. Oh, autosave, quit Sippity. Lovely. So a nice basic setup again. Now we don't have pedestrians in the mix, trams in the mix, all of that lovely stuff. And then this one over here, the same again. We're going to stop that one, remove that one, and then you can see here, if you press this little question mark, it pops up this. So it gives you some quick setup, control left click for all the stuff. So all the timings, all the things, all back to normal. And that is looking good. That is looking good. This is a visual thing with the big American roads. Do not concern yourself about that. Oh man, things are looking so much better along here. We did say we might need to adjust the things a bit. I love the I do like the bus lanes, nice and big and wide. I like the way they're marked out. People walking, that's what we want to see. Barely any traffic, that's what we want to see. Oh man, this one here possibly needs adjusting, or it might just be... Let's just keep an eye on this for a second. I don't think I've adjusted this road, have I? Let's just make sure the lights are working as they should. It looks like they are. Yeah, not quite getting enough people there through. And got this weird stop here where the road transitions from one to another. So we'll say you go through, you go through. Also adds crossings there automatically. It's like, and if you turn them off, then you get this mark, which I hate. So I'm hoping they get updated. I really don't know. Yeah, this one here is, so I want this node just to let people go through a little bit more. That's state 1. Okay, we'll edit that. We'll change that to 8 and 15. Save, resume. Oh, what? Oh no, did I remove it? By mistake, I did. Save and start. That's the one I want. And then hopefully just a bit extra time to let people go through. It's a very sharp turn there as well, isn't it? So I'm going to use node controller. Let's see what we can do. If we straighten things out and then make this a bit bigger, just to get more of a sweeping turn, I think that will help. And then I'm also going to move this connection back just a bit like that, a little bit more space there. And then also what I like to do is this doesn't sort of seem to go as you would expect. Oh, have I done it right on that one? Just gonna watch the cars coming through here. We don't want to get in each other's way. Oh, it's not filling up past this extra lane, which is exactly what I want. And then they're almost all getting through because we have crossing here as well. Of course we do, yeah. There's not too much crossing. We could always change that another time, couldn't we? But I'm happy to leave that as it is. Yeah, they're all getting through. They're not backing up. Oh, man. So was this a successful change from a Stroad to what is now a free-flowing, safe road? What do you reckon? These lights here need some adjustment. I might just quickly do that. This is not too bad. Let's see how these go through. I want that bus to get through. He was at the back. And a load of extra cars. I don't want them doing that there. So we'll do a slight adjustment with a bit of Hugo there. There we go. Excellent. Yeah, that's looking good. Everybody that queues gets through. Let's just maybe take a look at this section here. Oh, you can see what I've done here. Look. With this, the way they spread out. No, that's fine. Actually, do you know what? Now I'm looking at it. Look. They're all getting through. It's this little problem area here. That is an issue. But I think that's an issue for another day. Because I'm really pleased with the way that this turned out. All before I get a policy that we need to enable in the city. Encourage biking. There we go. So that's going to definitely help with people getting around in our cities. So I'm just going to see if I can help this area here. And what I've just done off camera is remove this access from these two roads here onto this one. So we haven't got a connection right next to this junction because it was too close. Also, these roads coming out here, and we have them only turning. Let's grab that one. There we go. Only turning left. So they're not going right and crossing over the traffic. But, you know, they might want to go straight over. It's probably adding an extra weight to the cars going up here unnecessarily. So what I'm going to do is find an asymmetrical road that will nicely fit in there. So they can go left, right, or straight over. And then we can take that into consideration when we do our lights. There's going to be one in here somewhere. I will find it. Okay, there we go. I found one. This big road here. That's a 2+3, which is what we want. So, yeah, excellent. These have already got that set up, so 3 lanes coming in. We can then do control left click, and we've now got lanes for straight on, left and right on every single one individually, which is good. There we go. Excellent. And now I want to just set up these traffic lights again. I also want to make sure, I mean, these are all offices, I think. So actually having these up against these roads here are not really much of a problem. They're not getting too many visitors, so that's okay. So then let me just sort the traffic lights out and the other bits and pieces we've got here. So traffic lights, I'm going to stop that. I have sort of fiddled with these a little bit, but we're going to reset those. There we go. We're then going to say people don't have to stop here. They can go straight through. Here they can go straight through. This one should automatically be set up. Yeah. This one, it's fine. We do have crossings there. If they wanted to cross over and we didn't give them anything else, have to walk all the way up to the end there. I mean, they would do it, but that is a long way to go. Alright, let's just see how that goes once they sort of start thinking about it a bit. And I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. Let's straighten that up. Just to give them a slightly more sweeping corner without cutting into these buildings. Yeah, there we go. Alright, let's just keep our eye on this for a second. It might need some adjustment as there's a lot of cars going to be coming down from there. Although already, look. Have a quick sip of tea while that's going. Do you know what? That is not too shabby at all. Giving everybody access to everywhere, dedicated lanes. The only thing I'm slightly concerned about is they do back up a little bit further than we've allowed them with this little stub of a 3-lane road at the end, like this. But they're all going left anyway, I think. Let's just watch, make sure they all get out. A couple went straight on, they still got out. That is not too shabby at all. This is moving okay. Wow. Let's just take a look. So it's still busy, which is fine. That's what red means, busy. But if you have a look, as long as people that are queuing get out at a light change. So this car back here, this little bike, this car, this car, this car, the lights are changing. That car there got out. So that is fantastic. Let's wait for these lights to stop. See how far back it goes. Here we go. This one, that one there. Yeah, and they all got through. So that is absolutely perfect in my book. It hasn't caused any more traffic around here where we've adjusted the trams. This one's working okay now, which is fantastic. Although there is another traffic light there, isn't there? Which is fine. Wow, what is the traffic? Let's just come out of that and have a look. 74%. Do you know what? I am pleased with that. That is fantastic. So what do you think of our change from a Stroad to what I am now going to call a road? This is like the main road through our city and it is working as it should. Anything you would do differently, let me know in the comments below. Do you have Stroads in your city? Are you going to do these sort of changes? I would like to see some pictures. You can always send them to me on Twitter at Biffa2001 or on our Discord. The link to the invite is in the description below. Thank you very much for watching. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe and have a fantastic day. I will see you all very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.